Pinch of Basile. I am your wonderful and lovely host, Basil. That's right, Rosemary and Herb's son. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Janice Hermson. And, of course, how the hell can we do this show without our wonderful engineer, Christian Meyer? Christian, Janice, what's going on, y'all?
Oh, man, I just had some good kebabs for lunch.
Oh, now I'm jealous.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they pork or were they
Chicken.
beef kebabs?
Chicken.
That's just
Oh, come
chicken
on.
stick.
Come on.
It's chicken
was
on
good.
a stick. Was it dry?
No.
Or was it very, very moist?
Very, very moist. Chef Mark made those, and they were very good.
Chef Mark?
Yes.
Oh, you got to have my dad owned a restaurant. Surprise. Dad owned a restaurant, and he would make the best wonderful beef shish kebab that was fantastic. And we'll get into that in a minute. But don't forget, we are now streaming live on Facebook. That's right, Facebook, folks. Facebook on Basil Fans. You can catch me right now on Basil Fans. And you can also listen on the TuneIn app on any phone or device. Once you have the app, just search America Matters and you'll find us. If you're on the computer, just go to americamatters.us and listen. Today, especially, I like to hear comments from you. I want to see you people call in, texting us as well. 844-790-8255. That's 844-790-8255. Ask me whatever questions you have, what's on your mind. And Janice, we have a text number. What is that magical text number?
We do. It is 775-237-2266.
And don't forget, we are heard all around the world on Greek Beat Radio.
Greek Beat Radio.
Oh, my God, we pay 17 cents for effects like that, folks. That's why we make the big money here on a Pinch of Basil. That is Greek Beat Radio. That's all over throughout the UK. That's right. We're even on FM channel. Do we have that FM channel number, what it is in London?
I do not have that handy, but I will get it for the next time around.
Absolutely. We got to get that info because we're on an FM channel. People can hear us. And they can hear us all over around the world. Like I said, South Africa, all the way to Australia, coast to coast in Australia, all the way through North America and, throughout Europe, not only throughout London and, throughout the UK, but I'm talking every country that catches Greek Beat Radio. They can hear us all around the world. Listen, especially with shows coming up, I'm not going to be on the road until it looks like August.
Oh.
It looks like August. August 1st is I'm going to be doing my first show because I'm basically in the third phase. Thank God I have the opportunity to catch up a lot of stuff. The T-shirts, the Venduza Palooza concert shirts. I got to send you guys some. You and Christian, I got to send you. They have been going through the roof. Thank you very much. Listen, folks, I want you guys go to basillive.com. Basil Live. Check out the design on the Basil Venduza Palooza World Tour shirts. You're going to love them. If you know who Venduzas are, you're going to love them.
I am so happy to hear that you have a new tour. And
yes.
When I saw what it was, I did look that up. So there you go.
Venduzas are cupping. If you've ever heard of cupping, maybe a few years ago when you remember some of the swimmers and during the Olympic Games, they had these round circles on their bodies, like little bruised circles.
Yep.
It's referred to as cupping, and it's been something that we've been doing for hundreds of years. The Greeks have, and a lot of other cultures. They've been doing it for curing anything from disease, sickness, whatever the kid. And it goes a little bit deeper, but I remember, as soon as I saw anything with glass cups, alcohol, and a flame on my body, I got a little bit nervous. You know what I'm saying? So it was, call me crazy. So that's it about it. So make sure you check out the shirts.
Weird.
And also, we want over the so you can always find out what we're doing. But look, a few thoughts about what's going on right now with the George Floyd case that has created so many reactions in our country. My show is not meant to cover current events of this kind, but I feel I have to say something because it's so disheartening, this whole situation and what happened. I have many of my friends that are in law enforcement. I have many black friends who I shared locker rooms with and studied with and shared field and shared blood and sweat and tears. And I love them all. And I've never seen a difference, maybe the color of our skin, but we all bleed red. When something is so wrong like this happens, no matter what I say, we'll never do it justice. To George Floyd and his family, I extend, and it's his extended family and friends, or anyone who is involved, I want to say how awful the situation is, and that we need to get involved in a proactive way that will change these events so they don't happen again. Protest, to protest is fine. To protest and out there and tell people how you feel is fantastic. I think it needs to be shown around the world. But when you're causing damages because of riots, those are not the protesters. Those are hoodlums that are cheapening the memory of this poor man that died under police brutality. I feel very, very strongly about that. I am a comedian, but I also am a person of the world. And when I see something wrong, I call it out. And this is something that needs to be taken care of at all municipalities, not only here in America, but all over the world. You should never do something like that to someone of a different race because you don't like their color of their skin or the way they live or the way they talk or the way they dress. That's not right. And you know that.
And I think that I would echo what you just said about the fact that people need to get proactive, and I think that they had to do maybe the protests to keep it in the forefront. Now is the time to kind of get out there and find those organizations where they can make a difference.
Absolutely. You can make the difference, but you don't need to cause damage or cause harm to others. Listen, we'll be back after a few words from our sponsor. Remember, you're listening to a Pinch of Basile. Stick around.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now, back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back. You're listening to a Pinch of Basile all around the world. You can always find me on Facebook at Basile Fans, BASILEFANS. Like me, watch me, contact me, do whatever the hell you want. But that's the same handle I use on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. So make sure you go ahead and keep in touch with us and join me, won't you please? And listen, we couldn't do this all, have this worldwide appeal all over without Greek Beat Radio.
Greek Beats Radio. Greek Beats Radio. Greek Beats Radio. Beats Radio.
My God, tens of thousands of pennies went into that. Okay, if you have any questions for me, just give us a call at 844-790-8255. Or if you're on Facebook, leave a comment. Call us right now. Call us at the number, leave a message for Janice. Let me know what's on your mind. I'm doing this because, listen, every week we try to do something different, have a little bit of fun. Of course, the current events that's going on right now makes it a little bit depressing. It is not my job to go ahead and comment on something that everyone is talking about. I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because I try to have fun. And we always get the depressing news. I don't want depressing news. But if you got questions or something that irritating the hell out of you, call us. You got the toll-free number. You got the text number. Janice, what the hell is that?
You're getting a whole lot of likes on that, I'll tell you. The text number, the text number is 775-237-2266. So folks agree with you on that. Let's keep it light and
absolutely. Got to keep it light. Yeah, you know what? I made a mention. I just took some new I just took a bunch of new images, and they look great. It's me in a thong, and it's what the hell are you laughing
about? More of that things that I'll never get out of my head again. Oops.
To see me in a thong is
the dress is the
thing.
best.
Well, let me tell you. No one wears an evening gown like me.
Yes.
And I've always said that. The sparkly, the better. I'm all about class. It's always been about class. Yeah.
We didn't say what kind of class.
Well, low class. Okay.
Kindergarten, third grade.
Kindergarten. There you go. I like kindergarten.
Oh, come on. Sophomoric has to be 10th grade. 10th grade, for God's sake.
All
It's
right.
all about the silliness. Anyway, we are all about the silliness. And, it's going to bring me right to, I could not resist one. New rules from the Daily Mail. No screaming, no high fives, and haunted house ghosts will scare victims from a safe distance. Japanese fun fairs release rules for the coronavirus era. No screaming on the roller coaster. Are you listening, kids? No screaming on the roller coaster. Social distant spooks in the haunted house. And please refrain from a high-fiving your favorite superhero. There will be no more high-fiving Superman.
No.
Spider-Man.
No.
Well, you don't really want to high-five Spider-Man. Get that red stuff all over you.
That'd be rough.
Yeah, that'd be very rough. As Japan's fun fair slowly reopened, a group of park operators have released joint guidelines on how to operate safely under the threat of the virus. Among the recommendations, thrill seekers will be asked to wear masks all the time. Woo, such fun. So if you were screaming with a mask on while you were doing the roller coaster, who do you blame? That's what I'm saying. You didn't even think about that. Everyone's going like, oh, who did that? Well, it wasn't me.
Yeah, you're certainly not going to see them, are you?
No, you sir. Ghosts lurking in the haunted houses should maintain a healthy distance from their victims. How the hell? Ghosts in a healthy, I want you to get healthy distance. These are spirits from people who are dead now, but they want you to go in a healthy, okay, all right. So I'm just saying, those wacky Japanese, how they make those cars, I'm sure through a healthy way that they do it. Anyway, listen, they can only do it to get their victims from very, very far away. Because if you say boo to me next to me, I get a little bit nervous. But if you say boo to me from a quarter mile away, let's say, it scares the crap out of me. I've always been that way. Yeah, I get scared, but from a quarter mile, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I freeze. I become a deer in headlights. So anyway, park staff, including those dressed up as stuffed animals.
You're making yourself laugh.
Animals? Yeah. What are they stuffing the park workers with?
I have no idea. I want to know who wrote this.
I don't know, but I got to be honest with you. I'm somewhat turned on, and I don't know why. Superheroes engaged in flights to death with evil villains should also avoid whipping up support from the spectators. Well, how do you whip up support when you have masks on? You can't. Forget it. This is okay. Anyway, potentially coronavirus-laden droplets fly through the air along with all the superheroes, and virtual reality attractions should not operate unless special glasses or goggles can be fully sanitized. The guidelines suggest, and perhaps
they
the parents
suggest, right? So what does that mean?
Suggest.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I personally would spit in all the goggles. Just to give that added coronavirus scare, but I do it from a quarter mile away. That's me.
That's a talented spit.
I don't want to brag, but it is what it is. Listen, I'm all about spreading the basal virus. You know what I'm saying? But I do it from afar. You got to have good aim. No two ways about it when you're a quarter mile away. But that's me. All right. These guidelines will not bring infections to zero. Are you serious? But, okay.
You think?
Well, but it will reduce the risk of infection. The operators admit pledging to continue studying ways to bring down transmission risk.
How about don't go if you're that worried? Just don't
say again?
go. Just don't go.
Don't. Just stay home. Have sushi, norimaki, sushimi, a little sake. What else do you need after that?
That's right.
And when you eat, when you eat sushi norimaki, please have your mask on. Okay, so anyway, best known theme parks.
If I can't scream on a ride, I'm not going. That's part of the fun.
You got to be able to scream.
It's part of the fun.
And this is Japan's best known theme parks. There is no way they call it Tokyo Disneyland. It should be Tokyo Disneyland. Okay, I'm just saying. All right. Universal Studios Japan in the western city of Osaka remain closed with no date yet set for reopening. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on Monday lifted the nationwide state of emergency after a sharp drop in number of coronavirus cases in Japan. Citizens and businesses have been urged to adapt to the new normal in the coronavirus era, including mask wearing, social distancing where possible, and for God's sakes, don't scream on the damn roller coaster.
And maybe you shouldn't laugh either, because that might spew some droplets as well.
Yeah, who's going to get it? Are you serious? My computer got a virus from me? Okay, that's nice. That's always nice. Yeah, I'm all about that. Should we go into the Tom Jones story?
We got a couple minutes still. We can talk about Mr. Tom Jones.
Listen.
In his birthday suit, huh?
Oh, my God. Let me tell you something. Tom Jones, they used to have a show. I was a little kid, but they had the Tom Jones show when I was young. And I'm telling you, I was even sitting there going, oh, Delilah. Oh, my God. I was crazy. I was like, this guy is the sexiest person in the world. No two way. Even at 80 years old, he is sexy as hell. I heard right now he's on tour at every senior center going around right now.
Is that right?
And
that's
there's
cool.
there's been an increase in broken hips. Just saying. So anyway,
you got me on that one.
Yeah, he's celebrating his 80th birthday. God bless him. This week he looks fantastic. The incident, I guess, in the new BBC Radio 2 documentary, Sir Tom's musical years, speaking about his birth in Pontypridd. I actually heard of Pontypridd before. In Wales in 1940, Jones says, when I was born, they thought I was stillborn because I didn't make a sound. Well, he took a coffee break between sets. So anyway, he said, speaking about his birth, he was a stillborn. And then the midwife said to my mother, I'm awfully sorry, but he isn't breathing. So thank God my grandmother was there. And she said, just a minute. And she brought, listening to this? She brought a bucket of cold water and grabbed me by the ankles and dipped me in it. Spun me around her head. Now, this is a man who basically, evidently, was watching, or his grandmother was watching. What was the Exorcist? Because,
Is that what that is?
I don't know where the pea soup is going to be coming from.
I don't know either.
Pea soup. Sir Tom's musical years in a new 2-part interview with singer conducted by his fellow performer. Is it Ceres Matthews, and recorded remotely during the lockdown. Matthews, who previously collaborated with Jones on this 1999 album, Reload, asked him about the music that he shaped, his life and career. The interview will go out on the BBC Radio 2 on Saturday 6th and on the 6th and 13th of June. So actually, that's going to be a pretty damn good thing. I would like. Honestly, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope they have my. One day the BBC will have my story. My mother, spit against the wall, and bam, I was born. Anyway, listen, we're going to be right back after these messages. You are listening to a Pinch of Basile. We'll be right back.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back to the third segment on A Pinch of Basile. Call us. Right. Hey, listen, folks. I mean that. You got something bothering you, give us a call. 844-790-8255. That's 844-790-8255. Or you can text us. What is that wonderful text number, Janice?
775-237-2266.
For all of you, we're getting greetings from all over the world. I have people from Australia. I have people watching from us from the UK and different parts of the world. So, hey, listen, you got to jump on right now if you guys can. What the hell are you waiting on? Listen, Mother of God, you have to jump on this. And listen, and I want to thank Greek Beat Radio.
Greek Beats Radio. Beats Radio.
That was actually my wedding song, and I want to thank my wife for not divorcing me on that. It was very tough when you have that song and you're dancing to it, and all of a sudden, would the grandparents please join in? And, both grandmothers broke their hips. So it was, but Tom Jones was there. So it was
I was going to say, it's a hip day, right?
It is a hip day. Oh my God. I gotta be honest with you. We've been talking about Tom Jones, and what a great, and Ella, by the way, Eleni from Chicago, I want to congratulate her. Her and her family have this beautiful grandson, just a gorgeous looking kid. And I gotta tell you, I'm just, just congratulations to the entire family. And I just want to, think you guys are great. And she's a beautiful woman. The funny thing is, I'm looking at here and I see, thanks Ray for coming on, and Celia and Stephanie Icaria is watching. And you know what? I think that some of the most beautiful people I've ever seen are like Greeks and Indians and ethnic type of women. And and Tom Jones is just one of those guys who's just so damn handsome. And he is like just unbelievable. And women would throw their panties and hotel keys on stage. And, for him when he was singing. I mean, what a great gig. I get that too. But it's usually boxers. And I don't really want to talk about the guys that throw them up. I really don't. But I am somewhat, flattered.
Somewhat?
And, I got to be, say again?
Just somewhat?
Just somewhat. I was going to say the word actually, but I got lectured by a guy last week who says, don't say actually anymore. So I'm trying to stay away from actually. No, actually, to be honest with you, I love, you're on stage. And I used to do this bit that was always funny to me. I did this bit where I talked about Greek Easter, and I never got a fresh peep. And do you know, to this day, I still get people throwing fresh peeps at me. How the hell do you get fresh peeps after Easter or in the summertime? And they say, we buy them and we put them in the freezer until you come to town again. It's hysterical. I mean, it really is. So, I'm going to be able to go ahead and get more peeps, because you know what I do with my peeps, even when they're stale, I put them on a stick, and how you're roasting marshmallows, because let's be honest, a peep is nothing more than a marshmallow. And I like to burn it, where it burns up, and then I blow it out and I pull it off and I eat with the sugar and everything. Oh, it's delicious. You ever have that?
No. In a word,
no. What kind of candy do you like?
Chocolate. Chocolate's good.
Chocolate's not candy.
Yeah, chocolate.
It's not candy. No, it's not candy.
That's not
Chocolate's
candy.
Chocolate.
Oh.
No.
All right. Then my favorite would be Raisinets. That would be my favorite. I really.
What the hell's wrong with you? There is something wrong with you, for God's sakes.
I agree.
Raisinets.
You
were going to say, Christian? What were you going to say, Christian?
Oh, I wholeheartily agree. That's.
Oh my God! If there is a choice between eating, no, I would rather eat stewed okra than Raisinets.
No.
And I hate.
How about malted milk balls? Malted
do you
milk
like
balls are good.
Do you like stewed okra?
No.
Okay. Well, if you like eating snot, that's the meal you should go with. Okay, I'm just saying. But right now, listen, there is a story, and I don't know how much time we have on this, on our third segment here, because someone took my clock away, but I'm not going to say who it was, Christian. Anyway.
You'd be surprised what's going on.
Is he having issues?
A little bit. Which story are we going to do now? Are we going to talk about?
You know what? I want to. There's the Ozzy Osbourne story.
Oh, okay. I didn't get much on that.
Yeah, 50 years ago today, really yesterday, Black Sabbath released their dark and heavy, impactful, self-entitled debut in the United States. Britain was released. Really, Britain was released in 1979, and then 10 years ago, Black Sabbath released it in the United States, but they only got released 9 years later. Recorded almost entirely live with no overdubs. There were no second takes on the majority of the album, as Ozzy Osbourne, Tony, I want to say Iommi, Tony Iommi, okay, Geezer Butler and Bill Ward reigned on a bluesy torch of a psychedelic type of a thing that helped give birth to the heavy metal. Listen to Butler kick off his bass solo. It's just unbelievable. Iommi, heavy riffing, and Osbourne call to chants on vocals on NIB. What is NIB?
I know, I was going to look that
It's
up.
Nativity in Black.
Oh.
You are
He's the master.
unbelievable.
You should listen to his show in the morning.
Little
plug for you there,
impressed.
Christian.
I appreciate that.
IMB, I was going to say, it was short for a little nib, but, I never had a nib. It's a long story. Adam Rittenberg from ESPN senior writer is actually recording about a quarterback, Penn State quarterback Will Levis, like leave us alone, wanted to find a creative way to help during the coronavirus pandemic. So he came up with a fundraising strategy to match the times, a backwards run.
Yes.
Levis on Sunday completed a 5-mile run running backwards, exceeded his goal by raising more than $3,800 for 3 organizations helping to treat and support people impacted by COVID-19. The Nittany Lion Jr. Finished the run in 57 minutes and 51 seconds. Repeatedly circling the track at a high school at State College, Pennsylvania. That's where Penn State is located at. I got a lot of weird looks from people, Levis told ESPN on Monday. Once they heard what was the cause, they understood more. And I was going to say he's a Greek quarterback, but a going backwards thing is just not going to work. Anyway, in April, a friend told Levis about the Macon Lemonade Fund, started by a group of college students and the recent graduates who organized community-based fundraising projects. I want to say it's on ESE. Did you see that word right there?
Hang on a second, I'm not with you.
Am I speaking to myself?
I was busy answering some of your...
Yeah, God forbid you pay attention to me. God forbid.
I am paying attention. I'm listening to you, and I heard you stumble, and I said, what did I give him that he didn't get?
It's you spelled it O-N, capital O, lowercase n, capital E, capital S, lowercase e.
I have no idea.
So are you doing this on purpose to actually, sabotage this show? We're already having issues,
No, that's actually, no, I see it now. No, actually, that's just the way that it was a fun run. So whatever, that's the name of the deal, I think. The name of the project?
Well, it's stupid. Okay. The only thing I'm going to tell the Nittany Lion quarterback, when you play quarterback in a game, wear a helmet. All right? That's all I'm going to say. All right. The idea was a fun run, usually a marathon, half marathon, where donors could make pledges. Proceeds go to COVID-19 response efforts, which is a really good thing, from the CDC Foundation, the Direct Relief Fund, and Feeding America. The 6'3", 231-pound Levis said, it isn't much of a distance runner. His longest run has only been about 5 miles forward. So actually, have you ever tried to run backwards? It's not the easiest thing in the world.
It is not easy.
And your back quads really get destroyed.
Yes.
A lot of defensive backs used to run backwards because that's the way they run their first, I would say probably their first, their first 10 to 15 to 20 yards, they run backwards when covering a wide receiver. So he did a couple of practice runs at the school, and I guess he did pretty well. His goal Saturday was to complete the 5 miles in less than an hour. He started the run and listening to a Wall Street Journal podcast before switching to some type of hype music. I knew I needed to have my fastest mile yet if I wanted to hit my goal, he said. When I got around to the last half mile or so, I really picked up the pace, and it definitely was the hardest part of it all. He says it's exhausting. It's not really a respiratory exhaustion, but more of your legs. So what I told you, if you guys would only listen to Basil, things would be much easier. I was
listening to you.
Yeah. He recorded his best time by several minutes, averaging about 11.34 minutes per mile. He's excited not to have completed the run for all who had donated, but don't expect an encore. I'm never going to have to do that again. He said unless some other charity opportunity comes up, and I still may have to think about it. How's that?
Wow.
I think that's pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
Let me see. A historic meeting with the Pasco YMCA in 1920 may never have happened if not for a series of world-altering events, including the 1918 flu
Oh, you're going to have to save that one.
You want to save it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back after these messages.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Now back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back to the show. It's the fourth segment, and so glad you have joined us on the Pinch of Basile. If you have any questions for me, just give us a call at 844-790-8255. Remember, Basile Fans, BASILE-FANS on Facebook. Like me. Spread the love in the world all over the place, or go to my website. Always check out our website at basilelive.com, BASILELIVE.com. Show dates will start back in August. I keep everything on. Excuse me, folks. My God, thank God I'm not in Japan. I would have killed half the country right there on that little sneeze I just did there. So anyway, listen, like I said, we always try to open it up to the lines and everything. And we have a caller, Bill Ligris, is on the phone with us right now. Bill, how you doing, brother?
Brother Basil, how are you, my man?
Good, man. What's going on?
Well, trying to keep my sanity here in Montreal, Canada, was this pandemic. And I wanted to call in since you're taking questions. I had a question for you.
Yes.
And this question really generated on Sunday after watching the launch to the space station.
On Saturday.
Saturdays. See how confusing it is with the pandemic. Saturday. And I was watching it I went to have a call with my three uncles. Mm-hmm. And the question is, can the coronavirus travel up into space?
I don't know if it's something like that can actually survive in zero gravity, to be quite honest with you. That's always been one of the biggest concerns. If you remember, when I was a kid, I was a space fanatic. When they came back from the moon, they were quarantined. Oh, gosh, I want to say for almost 30 days, they were in quarantine to make sure they didn't bring any type of diseases back from the moon when they walked on it and, came back. So I don't know if it's a good question. Can the coronavirus? Why not? But they stay in some type of a overnight type sanitized area where they stayed since, that they were supposed to be, I think, since that first launch date, which I think was last Wednesday, and it got postponed until Saturday. I want to say either Thursday or Wednesday. Got postponed. So they keep them in a very, very secure area, or they must pump maybe something to kill the coronavirus or whatever. I don't know. But that's a good question.
But I'll tell you, man, I wish I had you on the call with my uncles, because they're all in their mid-80s, and you know how it is with the old Greek guys. They're always arguing and all that. All I can say, if we had these three guys up on the space station, I don't think they would have unlocked the door for the astronauts to come into the place.
Probably not. Do you know, I still remember an uncle that was from Greece that did not want to believe that we landed on the moon and that someone was walking on the moon, and thought it was staged, that somewhere. And, you just sit back and you shake your head. You're like, oh, come on, dude. Really? But that would have been one of the first things ever to come out, that whole thing was staged. A lot of people don't know that actually we were not really the first ones, I guess, to get on the moon. I think the Russians where a spaceship went down unmanned and was on the moon first. And, that was the greatest. Competition breeds a lot of gutsy moves. And what we did to do that, it was amazing. They talked about the speech that Nixon was going to go ahead and give if the landing was unsuccessful, and they had to, and they died there. He practiced that speech just in case. And that's pretty sobering to think that we had to do something like that to, actually get, to actually have this prepared just in case. But I was so close to it. My father, God rest his soul, my dad actually opened up the restaurant at 3:00 in the morning. And because we were right next door to Grumman's practically, it was in Calverton, Long Island. And what we did was we were in Riverhead, Long Island, which is no more than about 5 to 6 miles away from my dad's restaurant. And that was the only thing. There was no Dunkin' Donuts back then. There was no anything. So what my dad used to do, he would get up at 3 a.m. and start making donuts and egg sandwiches with bacon and stuff, and hundreds of donuts, and he'd be by himself doing this. And I'm like, what an unbelievable cat to be able to go ahead. But he was Greek. That's what he did. He knew how to make food. And, the people at Grumman's actually gave him an actual small little. It was a model of the lunar module, and it was in metal. It was a metal on a wooden plaque. I don't know where we have that. If it got busted up years ago, my mother and I were in a truck accident with a U-Haul, and it may have been one of those things that got busted up. And so I never remembered that, but it was such an important time in our lives when you think about it, going up to space. And nothing motivates you better than competition. I always tell people that. So I hope that we do have a competition with China and a competition with Russia to see who's going to be. And I like when private industry, like Elon Musk and all these, and Bezos and all these other characters who own a lot of money, and they can go ahead and competitively go to the next spot. I think we should have had moon stations right after 1969, that we should have put some ground type thing. But our issue was that we could never, ever find a vehicle to land on the moon and take off again. Like we had like the space shuttle, and we had the lunar module, but it would have taken decades to even get a small little pop-up tent on there. So anyway, Bill, thanks for the question, brother. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, on Friday, it's going to be Basile Fun Hour 10. We're going to have Mercedes, a Greek bouzouki playing. It's going to be, I'll try to even get a belly dancer or two over there for the show. So it's going to be fun. So, Bill, thanks for your call, brother.
And Leah says that your dad was the best.
He was. My mom and my dad, they, telling my parents, hey, I'm going to quit law school to become a comedian. And my father looked at me and goes, oh, you're killing me. Stop. So anyway, he was very supportive. I was very, very proud of my dad. Were your parents supportive when you told me you wanted to do something?
Yes, for the most part. My dad was tough. My dad was very tough. And it was at a time when women were really just beginning to go to college and do all those things. So it was hard for him, but he tried to be. Yeah, I would say.
Supportive?
Yeah.
How about you, Christian? Just out of curiosity, were your parents supportive when you told them you wanted to go into, audio engineering?
They were. In fact, I didn't originally go to audio engineering, and they even sort of put it in my face that I should have stuck with it when I went to college. So,
I always wonder how people are, if they're supportive or not, doing the things that you want to do. It's so cool. My parents never blinked. I give them a lot of credit because they would trust me. My goals were to go to law school and become this attorney and do all that. And everybody's, oh my God, Basile, way to go. Somewhat of an accomplished athlete, and then you're going to go to this and do your thing. And as soon as I quit all those dreams and become a comedian, I think my entire family goes, what a moron, what an idiot. And then all of a sudden, when I started doing my stand-up in Greek, and I was like everyone's, favorite Greek around the world, then it was like, oh, Basil, he's the best. He's number one.
Hey, Ray just said that, and you're the best comedian ever.
Oh, my God, yeah. But it was kind of funny.
Ray.
It was not the easiest with the rest of the family, but the only people I really cared about was my mother and father, and, make sure I had their support. Because how many kids' dreams and people who are out there now as adults, were crushed by their parents who say, you're not going to do that. You're going to do this, So I give parents a lot of credit for doing that. I really, really, really do. Any other questions out there, Janice, from my
right
friends?
Not right at the moment.
Okay. So this is what
you only
I want
got a
y'all
couple
to do.
more minutes, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going anywhere.
All
Where
right.
am I going?
I don't know what the
we
heck
have,
you're doing.
We have tens of people watching right now. So
Love the tens of people.
Oh my God, I'm very, very excited about what's coming up. We have shows, and I have a couple of surprise things I have not told Janice about with some guests that I think she will find rather surprising. Some people have reached out to me and told me they would like to do the show. I've asked them almost over a year or so ago to be on it, and they've evidently heard about this show. And so I think we're going to have some Olympians, some actors and actresses, and very, very famous comedians joining the show that I've worked with, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It really is.
Awesome.
For those people, yeah, I'm very excited about that. And for those people right now who are wondering, Basil, when are you going to start touring again? Hey, folks, listen, we got to get through this pandemic, and then, of course, we got to get through this crisis that we're having here in the United States right now, and it's really hitting all over the world. And again, to the family, George Floyd's family, our sincerest condolences to all of you, and to everyone who's listening right now. Know that we are truly sorry as to what's going on, and you can protest. Let's not be violent, and let's watch other people's property, because if people are going to get hurt if they keep on destroying other people's property, and we don't want that, do we? I don't think so.
No,
listen, folks,
no,
a couple of reminders. Don't forget to listen every week on Tuesdays from 6 to 7, New York City time. We can be heard all around the world on americamatters.us. If you're using the TuneIn app, just search America Matters, and be sure to keep it as one of your favorites. Questions? Comments? Go to Basil Fans on Facebook. That's either Basil Facebook, Basil Fans, BASLE, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or give me a call at 775-36. That's the old number, isn't it, Janice?
Yeah, you want to
844-790-8255.
8255.
Thanks so much. Listen, I love you guys. You're listening to the Pinch of Basil. See you then.